Welcome to the Been There Doing That podcast. I'm Robert Scrivener.
And I'm Gayla Scrivener.
We left the 9-to-5 grind, downsized, and our goal is to have freedom to live and to work from just about anywhere. Welcome to another episode of the Been There Doing That podcast.
I'm so proud of you, Robert.
Well, you should be.
You started us out.
Well, somebody's got to get this ball rolling.
I know.
Might as well be me.
It might as well. Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
April was not at all how we had planned.
No, it was not.
It was a difficult month, I would have to say.
There was 31 days, I think, in April, isn't there?
Yes.
Well, then I was correct.
I think. Now I'm doubting myself.
I think there's 31 days in April.
I don't think so. I think there's 30.
Okay. Either way, there was a lot of days in April.
It was a long month and a difficult month.
Mm-hmm.
We had been planning for months to leave on the 13th of April to go on our overland expedition, I guess you could say.
Which would have been Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, we were going to head out and be in the Jeep and take 6 weeks
to do a trip.
And our destination would be Flagstaff.
At the Overland Expo West.
Mm-hmm. And that's, what is that? May 18th, 19th, and 20th or something around there.
17th, 18th, 19th, something. Yeah.
Yeah. And we were going to take our time. I mean, we, in a past podcast episode that our audience could go back to, we even had a map and everything to show what route we had planned. And we had our workcation all planned out and
We planned this.
Mm-hmm.
Not down to every minute, though. But
no.
Very loosely planned it.
And
planned to be gone.
Moved mighty, mighty slow. And then about
April 12th.
Well, yeah, April 12th, 11th or 12th, things changed. We had a delay. And we did not know it was going to be this much of a delay.
It was the 11th.
But it's okay. We have our dogs. We have 3 dogs. 3
weenie dogs. And precious little boogers.
Usually what happens is when we go on these trips, my parents, mainly my mom, it steps up.
She loves them things.
Yes, she does. She puts on her doggy grandma hat and just loves those dogs to pieces. And
she loves with food.
Yes, she does love with food.
They're little porkers.
They plump up when we leave, but she takes care of our dogs. And shortly before we were leaving, my brother has been ill, and she was saying, I need to go and see your brother. And that was just perfectly fine because we have been really worried about my brother for several months now. And then a few days after that, my dad and I decided to go to Chicago to meet up with my brother. He was in the hospital. And that was just a very, very difficult time. Very difficult. So we decided to just not stress.
Not postpone the trip, but just delay.
Just delay and not stress about it and see how the coming weeks would be. And concentrate on family time and being with my brother. So I was with my mom and my dad and my sister-in-law and my brother in the hospital in Chicago. And had some really difficult days and then had some good family time and have no regrets whatsoever on that. But that was probably the most difficult time I have ever had because we lost my brother after I was gone for 2 weeks. And so he passed away, and I was so glad that I could be there with him and my family.
Yeah.
If we were
gone somewhere and
if
you
we were
wouldn't have been
gone,
there.
oh goodness, if we were gone, that would have just ripped out my heart even more so. And so it worked out. And I am not remorseful or regretful that our trip has been postponed and had totally changed.
Push it back till next year.
Yeah, our route that we made in Google, our route, and saved that map, and just going really slow and going through Oklahoma and then into Colorado, and wasn't that right?
Yeah.
Into Colorado and doing the different trails. That's perfectly fine to do next year.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that we want to go out west again next year.
I think I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, to add to the sadness of our April, one Sunday I called you from the hospital, and it was kind of a stressful day for me, but you had a stressful day too. What happened?
Well, I let the dogs out, took them to the grandmother's house in Springfield.
Yeah, you were watching properties.
And it was just me and the wiener dogs, let them out and opened the gate to let them go through. And Oscar, a little brown dog, yelped about 5 feet from the gate, and his back legs quit working. He got up a little bit, wobbled through the gate, and then they
gave out
and haven't worked since. So that was my stressful thing is, and not on a Sunday, can't take them really to be an emergency vet.
And we didn't know really what to do. We talked through it.
Yeah, and I called them, and they said, well, just bring him in the morning, just keep him separated from the other ones and comfortable somewhat, and bring him in first thing in the morning. And I did. And they prescribed him some prednisone and tramadol and some other one for a muscle relaxer.
Yeah.
So pain relief, muscle relaxer, and then inflammatory.
What ended up being that? It's what initials are they? It's that
IVDD, or slip disc. They thought it might have been something to do with FCD, which I still can't figure out what that would be. But invertebral disc disease is more prone to happen in weenie dogs or dachshunds than any other breed. It can happen in any dog at any time, and it's not really a disease. It's just what they call it.
Well, the disc
slipped back there or hit the spinal cord and the nerve and just doesn't work.
Yeah, it just blocks the messages from the brain to his hiney.
You can squeeze between the webbing on his feet back there, and he does pull away, but you have to squeeze really hard for him to feel it, and he'll jerk it away. So there is feeling back there.
And you were all by yourself.
I was all by myself.
Poor guy. And I know you were so sad, because to see him kind of crippled on his back legs, and then I was so far away, and I was so sad too.
He has been our special needs dog
from the very beginning.
Very beginning.
Yeah, the first year of life.
He had puppy strangles.
Yes, which is some sort of autoimmune type ailment.
Swelling of the lymph nodes and, holes on the side of his head there. And he had just lost all his hair going through that.
Yes, I think that was the prednisone.
Yeah, the steroids, yeah.
And, but we got him through that, and he has, a few scars from the sores that he had.
And then he had a limp tail one time.
Yes, but I think that limp tail is something similar to what he has now, because he held out a yelp, and I think that his disc slipped closer to his tail, and the only thing that was paralyzed was just his tail.
He could not lift his tail.
For about, a month or two?
Or so, yeah.
Well, and then he does not produce tears in one of his eyes.
His left eye.
And that may be a side effect from all the meds he was on when he was a little baby. And he went to a doggy ophthalmologist, and they tried to
that was in
do
Denver.
Stuff. Yeah.
Denver in 2012.
And we just basically have to put eye drops in his eyes all the time.
Keep him lubricated.
Yeah. Poor little guy. He is our special needs dog.
Yeah.
Or $1 million baby. I don't know.
I think it's $1 million baby. And then this. So he's had it kind of rough.
So his back legs don't work. And the first few nights, I mean, you got him on medication, so he was not. The first night was very, very rough because he was panting. So we think he was in pain.
2 hours that night.
Yeah. And then you got him on medication, and he was able to rest a little bit more.
Yeah. Has no control over his bladder.
No, but you learn how to squeeze him.
Express his bladder is what they call it.
You did a lot of research.
Oh, yes.
And doesn't that make you feel good that you can just be such a caregiver?
I am.
I know.
Look at me.
Well, this has given me a good indication. It's like, oh, if you take good care of Oscar, if something happened to me, you'd take really good care of me.
Well, you darn right.
Oh.
See?
It makes me feel better.
Well, good.
And, goodness, you were doing laundry constantly because the poor boy didn't know. He couldn't control his bladder, so he just would piddle.
All over the place. Anywhere at any time.
And so you got smart.
Uh-huh.
And what did you buy?
I got him some of those training pee pads.
Yep. You tried diapers.
And had one diaper on him, and I think he might have been allergic to it, so he hadn't had any since.
And this is as of the recording of this podcast, it's been about 2 weeks since the accidents happened.
Well, tomorrow will be 2 weeks, yes.
So he's been going through his medicine regimen and getting better on, we just take him out.
Yeah.
I've been home now for a week. No, not quite.
I don't know. About a week, yes.
Yeah. So my goodness, all this time has just confused me.
Yeah.
All the stress.
Don't know what day it is.
Yeah. So when I got home and saw Oscar for the first time, it was so sad, but he wasn't in any pain. He's eating really good.
He's having bowel movements a lot now. So the first 4 days, I think he didn't even have any. And I was,
getting
if
worried.
he didn't have another one on the next day, I was going to be calling the vet saying, hey, he's been 5 days and no bowel movement.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been eating, every day.
Yeah, soft food.
He eats good.
Yeah. And he's perked up in the last couple of days, I think.
His tail's starting to move and everything.
That was so exciting. Last night, his tail, the end of his tail started wagging. That's the first time I've seen that.
Yeah.
I mean, first time you've seen it since his little just accident. It wasn't even an accident. It just happened.
Just running along and then, whoop, there it was.
Well, we ordered a little cage type thing, just panels, wire panels. And I like those in the RV so that he doesn't hobble around and maybe fall down the RV stairs. And we keep him separated from the other two when we need to leave the RV.
And say surgery could possibly bring it back and, make things work again. And it may not.
Yeah. I don't want to put him through the surgery.
No.
He seems
and it's still
happy.
6 to 8 weeks recovery, maybe.
Yeah.
And it may or may not. Then there's conservative rest, which is pretty much in jail all the time. Cage rest, 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
So 6 to 8 weeks, no matter what, of just cage rest.
Yeah. So we're going to see the vet again and for a follow-up, but
he doesn't seem to be in any pain.
No, he's happy. Oh my goodness, he moves fast.
He just wants to go.
He does. So we got onto Amazon and we ordered some equipment. I wanted a
sling
type thing. So if we feel like we need to take him almost anywhere.
Special needs, got to keep an eye on him at all times.
Mm-hmm. So I got a sling type thing that you or I could carry him, especially in crowds and stuff like that. But then we got him some training wheels.
Well, not really training, but you got him some wheels, so he can get mobile again.
Yeah, because
front legs work great.
His front, and he just wants to run.
Yeah, you pick his back legs up and
Yeah,
He's gone.
You can't. It's like you're bent over and you have his back
And
end up, and he's
small-
running, and you're trying to run behind him like
Yeah.
the wheelbarrow race.
Yeah, that's it. That is it.
And poor little. I'm afraid that you're going to trip and
Fall
on your nose.
Bust my nose. It could happen.
It could happen.
Better not, though.
But it
This
is kind of a
seen his
funny
face?
sign. I have seen this
It's
face.
a good-looking face is what it is.
Well, you don't want to.
A broken nose on this face. That just ruined my whole persona.
Well,
Oh,
that's true.
Yeah.
But we are delighted
This is
that.
the money maker right here.
No, it's not.
Oh. Well, okay.
The money makers are fingers because you play guitar.
Oh, yeah. But the face is,
Yeah, I like
part
your
of
face.
it. Yeah, okay.
That's all you wanted to hear.
And I got it.
Oh.
Got it. Took a while.
You know what? For all this kind of sadness and things that had happened to us, I'm so glad that we can have some humor.
Yeah.
Even my brother through his last days had some
Yeah.
wonderful humor. And in December when I went up to see him in the hospital, and I told him about us doing podcasts and things like that. And I really had thought at that time it'd be really cool because he used to be a radio announcer.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, that would be so cool if I could have him do our intro for us. We could re-record an intro and things. And that didn't work out because he's been ill for, all of this year and stuff. But he was saying, well, if you're going to be recording a podcast, not many people do this, and you probably don't do this, but you should wear earphones as you're recording. And I said, Chris, I do. He's so proud of me.
Yeah, good.
And that was pretty cool. But he's into Iron Maiden. He's into a lot of different music. He was a radio announcer for a country music station years ago, both one in Rolla, Missouri, and then one down in Georgia, in a suburb of Atlanta. But he liked all kinds of music, from really old country music to hard rock, punk rock, whatever.
Everything, pretty much.
I mean, and he had a huge music library, music server. I don't know, 30,000 songs. That may be even low. I mean...
Oh, I heard 140,000.
Well, then you probably heard right.
That's a lot.
And he had a lot of movies.
DVD,
DVDs, Blu-ray. He had just a lot of entertainment.
More than a Blockbuster.
Oh, absolutely.
And it wasn't just movies. It was entire series or sets.
Mm-hmm. Just a lot of things. Well, he and his wife like Iron Maiden is one of their bands that they really like and follow, and have gone to several of their concerts and everything, and enjoyed that, and actually learning about Iron Maiden and their story and things like that is pretty interesting. But when he was discharged from the hospital to go into hospice care, and we were at home with him, and he's got quite the decorations with Iron Maiden, Pink Floyd, Star Wars, Star Trek, just a whole bunch of different things, because it's just he and his wife, and no kids, and they decorated how they want to. And there was this one nurse that I think she could have been like a British nanny type person. She was very nice, but she came in and just kind of prim and proper and everything. And I swear, I bet you she thought she needed to light a candle for us or something like that, because all the skeletons of the Iron Maiden type things. He had some posters that would glow in the dark, and just a lot of different artwork. And we kind of teased about that. But she came in, and she was like, I am so sorry for being late. I got the call to come, and I don't know, a couple of hours away. So she forgot her phone, I guess her work phone, personal phone, I don't know, but she forgot a couple of things, and she was sorry. Well, we were talking a little far away from the hospital bed that was in their living room, and my brother kind of said out loud, and we were kind of whispering, but his hearing was so acute. And he was like, well, that's a hell of a way to start your first day of work. And it was like, oh.
He was paying attention.
He was paying attention, and he put humor in and made us laugh, even through such a stressful time. And they, and his smell was so acute too. We were not allowed to have in his hospital room before he was discharged to go home. We were careful because he was very sensitive to smells. And so we couldn't drink anything or eat anything in the room. But Mom had an M&M, and she was across the room, and I was right next to him, maybe 5.
Maybe 5 M&Ms.
And she was across the room, and I was sitting right next to my brother, and he was looking at me, and I was just kind of by his bed, and he looked at me, and he was like, who's eating chocolate? And I pointed to Mom. I ratted her out.
Oh, good.
And she's like, how did you know? Okay, I'll wash my mouth out. So good memories even through difficult times. And we have his service coming up, and what we've decided, because my sister-in-law was just like, we don't want your trip to be canceled, and after all of this, we really want a vacation. I'm just throwing out the
V word.
Well, I'm throwing that out, but I'm not even worrying about a workcation. You know,
get away.
We'll just get away.
Vacation.
And have some stress-free type fun. But as we were talking about planning things, and I said, let's just go, but we'll need to leave after the services. And that kind of stressed you out a little bit. I remember I could hear in your mind
the wheels turning.
And what was stressing you out was pushing the Jeep so hard, because what our plan is to leave the day after the services, which is on the Sunday or Saturday. We're going to leave that Sunday so that we could get there on a Wednesday to Flagstaff, which is doable, but you've done a lot of things on the Jeep, and you just don't want to push it 75 miles an hour straight, to Flagstaff.
8 hours a day.
8 hours a day and boogie it out there. I could tell in your voice that you were just apprehensive.
I wasn't happy about it.
No. And I didn't really want to cancel the trip.
No.
So what we've decided is to deviate from an overlanding experience and go to a vacation experience and rent an SUV.
Yeah.
And we're going to regular tent camp it. We have one.
Yeah.
Haven't used it much lately since we've gotten the roof.
Since 2015.
Yeah. But we...
May of 2015 was the last time we used a regular tent.
Well, there we go. And it was really rainy that weekend.
It was rainy that weekend. But we dried it off before we put it up. So it should be still.
It should be fine.
We'll find out.
But we are going to just regular tent it and rent an SUV for 2 weeks and just hightail it out there. If we need to stay in a hotel on the way there, that's fine. And our destination, this time, instead of it being the journey more than the destination, this time it's the destination that's our goal. Mm-hmm. And that will be at the Overland Expo. And we are, we've volunteered at it, and we want to
keep our volunteer spot.
Yeah. And we're excited about it. We love the event, and that is going to be a good getaway, well-deserved getaway to kind of melt our emotions a little bit, because we've had some difficult, and I've had a lot of crying.
Yeah.
And
something just take mind off stuff and get away.
Get away, and I'm excited about that. And I'm excited that we can go, then hightail it back because we've got a wedding. And
all this sad time, and then we got a happy time.
We do.
So, yeah.
We do. And my sister-in-law is able to travel back, and she's going to come to the wedding.
Yeah.
And come to see you play for the first time.
A live band?
A live band.
Wow.
Well,
in a bar setting?
Yeah, she has gone to many, many concerts.
Not the same as
but not in a bar. She's never gone to a local band.
Real live band?
She's gone to real live bands, but they've...
a real live bar band?
A real live bar band.
Okay.
But, yeah, she's going to make the trip for the wedding.
You ain't seen no band unless you've seen the Tri-County Hair Club for Men Musical Ensemble.
Now that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Try sticking that on a T-shirt.
Yeah. Stick that on your sign out front.
But, all of this, we've really come together as a family very well. I'm very proud of our family.
Yeah.
And I'm proud that, this time, our daughter's going to take care of 2 out of the 3 wieners.
Yeah, we're going to take Oscar with us.
We're going to take Oscar with his little wheels and his sling.
Yeah, and his little cage.
And we are going to be his...
caregivers while we
his
travel.
Therapy humans.
His therapy humans. We're his service humans. Instead of a service dog, we're the service humans.
Yeah. I am looking forward to getting away and just driving, and maybe we'll see something besides Overland Expo, but if not, that's okay.
Yeah,
we enjoy that experience.
There's also one in the east in the fall, so we got that one.
We're planning on that one too.
Yep.
Well, very good. Why don't you wrap it up, Mr. Robert?
Where can they find us at, Gayla?
You do that to me every time.
That's because you let me.
Oh. Our website is beentheredoingthat.com, and anybody that has a comment or any questions or have ideas of a topic that you want us to talk about, just email us at podcast@beentheredoingthat.com.
Where can they find us on Facebook?
It's Been There Doing That. And how about Instagram, Robert?
Been There Doing That.
We have a theme going on.
I think there's a theme.
Yes. Well, thanks so much, and until next time,
keep it up top.